it's Jessie V. So this past week has been absolutely crazy for me. It's like I just can't live a normal life or something. I always have things happening to me, which, like I've said before, it's good because I can make story times out of it, but it's also not a good thing sometimes. And what happened to me last week really sucked. I ended up having to go to the hospital for the third time in the last like 3 or 4 months. Guys, I swear my body hates me. It hates me. So last Wednesday I was busy editing my videos as usual when suddenly I started getting this weird pain in the center of my chest. And I mean, it wasn't completely out of the ordinary because for the past 7 years or so I've had really bad heart palpitations, which is basically when your heart doesn't beat normally. It skips beats, it beats harder, it slows down, your heart just doesn't beat normally, and that's what I have. And with heart palpitations comes pain sometimes. So at first I thought it would just pass like it usually did, so I tried to ignore it. But the pain just kept getting worse and worse, so I started to actually get worried. I mean, it's only natural to think that you're having a heart attack when you're having really bad chest pain, so I just decided to go lie down for a while. And literally the second that my head hit the pillow, the pain went from a 7 out of 10 to like a 10 out of 10. Like lying down made my chest hurt that much more. So that is when the panic started to set in. And a lot of you know that I've struggled with an anxiety disorder for most of my life. So pretty much the smallest things can trigger my anxiety. Well, because I was so worried about my health in that moment, I had a full-out panic attack. And not a small one either. It was like a full-blown panic attack where I was hyperventilating, I could not breathe, I was feeling like I was gonna faint, and I had actually been vlogging that entire day up to that point. So I started trying to vlog what was happening to me. I don't know why. I just kind of wanted to let you guys in on my life, and maybe it wasn't smart to film myself having a panic attack, but I did. So yeah, the footage is quite embarrassing. I will show you some clips of it here. I'm not gonna put audio because embarrassing. Panic attack caught on camera. And I also don't have any makeup on, so I look like a potato. But I was honestly so worried that something really bad was going on with my heart. And like this video that I took was about 3 minutes long, so I might put it on my vlog channel. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of personal. I don't even know why I filmed it. It was probably because my entire family was asleep, so I really just wanted to talk to someone, even if it was just my camera. I feel like talking when I'm having an anxiety attack really helps. So even if I wasn't gonna post it anywhere, just talking to the camera was helping me. I might sound crazy, but you know, whatever helps you helps you. So anyways, it was 3 in the morning at that point, so I ended up calling my boyfriend. And that's not really a time that a boyfriend really wants to be called by his girlfriend, but he's super amazing, so he rushed right over to me and said that I should go to the hospital. And usually I would let my mom and dad know if I was going to the hospital, but it was actually my dad's birthday that day, and I just didn't think that being woken up at 3 in the morning was the best birthday gift for him. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him sleep. Kyle will take me to the hospital. By the time I get home, they'll wake up. They won't even know what happened. Well, that's not exactly how things went down, but I'll tell you in a second. So I went to the hospital and all these weird things started happening because no, I can't have a normal hospital visit. Not that hospital visits are normal, but you know what I mean. So Kyle and I got checked in and we were waiting in the waiting area when all of a sudden this guy walks in with his mother, and she is obviously visually impaired because she has one of those white support canes with her, and her son is probably like 23 and he's puking his guts out all over the hospital floor. I'm guessing he must have had like food poisoning or the flu or something, and because he's not feeling well, he doesn't want to walk around the hospital himself, so he starts begging the nurses to give him a wheelchair, and the nurses don't really want to give him one because he can honestly walk around just fine. He's walking around normally. All he really needed to do was stand by like a garbage can so he can throw up, but he keeps complaining over and over again that he really desperately needed a wheelchair, so finally the nurses just gave in. They gave him a wheelchair. And the issue with this story is not that this sick guy got a wheelchair, because if you need one, you need one, you know what I mean? The issue with this story was that he got his partially blind mother to push him around in this wheelchair when he could totally do it himself. You know how you can just use the wheels to kind of push yourself around. No, he didn't even want to do that. He got his mother, who had a cane, who could barely see, to push him around the hospital. And it was just terrible because she was pushing him into walls, into doors. She just couldn't do it, and she was struggling the whole time. And I'm like, if my mother was visually impaired and could barely walk, the last thing I would make her do is push me around in a wheelchair if I could fully and capably walk myself. Capably? That's totally not a word. I don't know, it was just so bizarre. And eventually the nurses saw what was happening and they stopped it. They were like, yo dude, like why are you making your mother push you around? So then there was this other guy who walks into the hospital complaining that his arm hurt, and there was like no blood, no bruising, his arm just hurt him. So the nurses checked his vitals when he came in. They told him he was okay. He just had to wait for a doctor to see him. So they like directed him to the waiting room that I was sitting in, waiting for my doctor. Well, this guy did not want to wait. He did not want to wait. He wanted to be first. He wanted to go in before me. So he starts screaming at the top of his lungs that he will sue the hospital if they don't get him to see a doctor right away. And the nurses were telling him like, you're not in immediate danger, you can wait. But he did not want to. He was screaming about suing the entire place. Like, who do you think you are? The queen? Every single person in this waiting room is in pain, not just you. Like, what makes you think that you deserve to go before all of us? Like, I was feeling 10 out of 10 pain, and I wasn't yelling at the nurses. I realized that going to the hospital is not always a fast process. So sit down and wait your turn, you crazy man. Well, he does not sit down. He continues carrying on. So eventually the hospital calls security. They run over, grab him, take him out of the hospital. I think they took him to like a different part of the hospital. I don't know where, but probably to a different waiting room where he wasn't disturbing everybody. But guys, like, you gotta imagine all of this happening to me, okay? I'm feeling like I'm having a heart attack. I've only been waiting for like 30 minutes and already I'm seeing a poor visually impaired lady pushing around her fully capable of walking son. They're running into walls and doors. Then this other guy is screaming about suing the place. Security is attacking him. Like, there's just this whirlwind of things going on around me, and I'm like, why? Why does the world do this to me? I mean, it was definitely entertaining while I was waiting, but still, I mean, what? Well, I had to wait in the waiting room for another like 2 hours after that, which I guess is why it's called the waiting room. I hate it. And I mean, at this point, I was in so much pain that it was insane. So finally, a doctor calls my name, and I get all excited because I'm like, okay, finally, I'm gonna be seeing a doctor who can help me. Well, psych, they just take me to a second waiting room. It was like hospital inception. Waiting room, within waiting room, within waiting room. Will it ever end? Well, this is where things get a little bit sad and scary at the same time. There's a lady sleeping beside me, and that's kind of just normal at first, but then after a while, she starts making these noises as if she's in pain, and then not soon after, she starts banging on her chest like this, and her eyes are so wide, it's so scary. So a nurse like rushes over, takes her to another room, and all you hear is this lady screaming at the top of her lungs, like one of those blood-curdling screams. And all I could hear around the hospital from the nurses was like heart attack. I just heard the word heart attack used so many times. So this poor woman had a heart attack right beside me, like literally right beside me. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I've never experienced that literally right beside me. I actually don't even think I've ever seen someone have a heart attack before. But anyways, you guys are probably wondering what the heck ended up happening with me. How is my health now? Because here I am talking about everybody else but the situation at hand. Well, I had a couple heart tests, I had an x-ray, I had a blood test, and the doctor told me that he's pretty sure I have a fluid pocket in my heart, which makes the heart really, really inflamed, which is why I was having so much pain. So he put me on these really strong anti-inflammatories that's supposed to bring the swelling down until I see my family doctor. And when I got home, I actually researched what I had, and I don't remember the name. It's like pecocardis, or something with a P, decardis, I don't know. Something like that. But I read that it's actually really fatal if it's not treated because the fluid pocket just gets bigger and bigger. But the good thing is the doctor said that because I'm so young, usually it's able to heal pretty fast on its own. But if you're like older and you have this problem and the fluid pocket gets too big in your heart, it actually causes heart failure, which it scares me, but I have to maintain a positive attitude, you know? If I start getting really scared, if I start getting really depressed, it's not really gonna help me in any way. And like, I don't want you guys to worry. I did not make this video to make you guys worry. I'm just kind of updating you on my life because literally my channel is my life. All these stories are about what's happening to me. So don't feel bad, please. Don't feel worried. I am working on getting myself better, and I'm actually seeing my family doctor tomorrow to get more tests done just to make sure that I have what the doctor thinks I had. So we'll see. I'm about to get some definite answers very soon. Well, let's end off this video on a good note because I know this was kind of depressing. I am getting a new puppy and I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a French bulldog. I'm getting him very soon. I haven't thought of a name yet, so I'm gonna have to kind of brainstorm some ideas, but as soon as I get him, I'm definitely gonna do a video with him. I'm so excited, and I think just having this new puppy will make me happier and maybe will improve my health. I heard that puppies are really good for you, if that makes any sense. But anyways, as usual, my social media information is below, along with my vlog channel and my P.O. box information, so check that out. And until next time, guys, bye!